Well, well, well. Another week, another episode of crap. Crumps rambles about parks. And oh boy, do we have some big news this week. We've got coasters being demolished, parks making weird choices, and even a whole theme park shutting down. Absolute madness. So strap in, hold on tight, and get ready for a roller coaster of emotions, because today we're diving into everything that's happened in the theme park industry across the world. It's official, Kingda Ka is officially no longer a coaster. The tallest coaster in the world has now been removed, meaning that technically I am now taller than Kingda Ka. So no more jokes about my height, alright? Six Flags announced this closure back in 2024, or should I say, didn't really announce this closure. I mean, it was very tucked under the radar and nobody really knew what was going on. And now the day has come. Boom. All of a sudden, we don't have a coaster that's 456 foot tall. Rest in peace, this beast of a coaster. Moving back over to theme parks in the UK now, Thorpe Park has continued its repainting of Colossus. When I say continued, I mean they still haven't finished it yet. Only the lift hill, the first drop, and the vertical loop remain untouched. So basically, the entire ride looks like it's been left outside in the rain for 20 years. But let's be real, this thing needs more than just some paint. It needs to be taken out back and put out of its misery, let's say. Thorpe Park home to some of the best rides in the UK and the most abandoned rides in the UK. Rest in peace, Slammer. The one of two S&S Sky Swats ever built, which operated up until 2017. And I say operated, I mean it barely operated. You'd probably get it open a couple days for a season. This thing has just been rotting away for the last 8 years, which is a bit sad to see. And it's finally been removed. Thanks to Jack Silkston's vlog, we can see a bit more into the site, which means speculation time. My theory? Intamin Blitz. Here's the plan. Get rid of the Walking Dead ride. You know, it's basically just a bunch of dark corridors and then a coaster that just takes you around in the dark as well. Awful. Get rid. Knock the whole building down. Ghost Train, demolish it. Blow it up. Boom. Suddenly, you've got loads of space. Pick up an Intamin Blitz, plop it down, open it up, name it after me. Happy days. Come on, Thorpe Park, let's make it happen. My emails are always open. Now, if we turn around and look behind us... Oh no, sorry, I meant at Thorpe Park. We can actually see that Hyperia's received some new pieces of theming. And I say pieces of theming, I mean it's received some AstroTurf and rocks. Which, you know, they should have been there from day one. But let's address the real problem with Hyperia. The splashdown still isn't working. There's been no announcements whatsoever. It worked for effectively a day and then broke. I mean, actually, the whole coaster broke, first of all. But it worked for literally a day, then broke, and has not seen the light of day again. Thorpe Park seems to be working on it, and I believe that Attraction Source was there over the close season in the park, and they actually got some photos of what the AstroTurf and the rocks looks like, so shout out to those guys. Now, staying in the area of the London, and if you just move around the M25, you know, the literal motorway that is a car park, and head over to Chessington, then there's quite a few changes that are actually taking place there. Chessington is shaking things up with the removal of Scorpion Express, the Mack Rides coaster that's been sat SBNO, standing but not operating, since 2022. But it's finally being removed for good. They also announced their 2025 ride closures, and it's a fairly long list. Cobra, Monkey Swinger, Jungle Bus, Tuk Tuk Turmoil, and Temple of Mayhem. And for some reason, Scorpion Express. Did they forget that it's getting deleted? Clearly, and as we know, Wild Asia is getting a massive retheming for their upcoming Minecraft-inspired land, expecting a new indoor coaster. I genuinely cannot wait for this multi-dimensional indoor coaster, and I think it could be a top-tier coaster. Now, moving over to Paultons Park. Paultons Park is on a mission to keep getting things better, and if you watched my most recent video where I ranked the UK parks, Paultons Park was ranked very highly. I think it actually received the 3rd place spot. So this means this park is Crump certified. 2 rides have been removed to make way for the new Viking-themed area. Thanks to Paultons who, over on Instagram, we've seen the actual scale of the site. But the big news? Dr. Kinley has invented the Phantom Phaser. Fancy that. Ghostly Manor opens up on May the 17th, and it looks like it's coming along very, very nicely. Could this be the best manor-themed ride in the UK? Alton Towers, you better up your game. Moving on to some sadder news now. It's been announced that Oakwood Theme Park will no longer operate for the 2025 year. Now, this is genuinely quite a sad sight to see. I mean, it's sad for all of us foosies because we're literally losing one of the best wooden coasters in the whole of the UK, that being Megaphobia. On the 4th of March 2025, Oakwood Theme Park announced that it would not be opening for the 2025 season. This is following a strategic review of the business. Hyperia Parks, which invested heavily back in the park in 2008 to effectively save it from closure then, have said that they've explored all possibilities of keeping the park open, but it basically cannot go ahead. And I mean, this is sad, considering Hyperia Parks have invested over 25 million since rescuing the park back in 2008. And they've pumped money into retracking and refurbing Megaphobia, which has just made it an even better ride. They say that these changes are coming because of the unrelentless economic challenges that are ahead. That includes increasing costs affecting all areas of operations, from ride parts to electricity costs, food and beverages inflation, and increases in national living wages, and changes to national insurance thresholds, which have all impacted their decision to close the park. Hopefully something comes out of this. Hyperia Parks do own another park over in France called Walligator, and it would be really good if we could see Megaphobia relocated to that area. However, it will be interesting to see what happens to the rest of the rides at Oakwood, and if we could possibly see Oakwood return. Now, I'm going to start a GoFundMe, guys, and if you could all donate £5, right? 10 donations, we'd probably be able to buy Oakwood. Simple. So click on the link below and make sure to donate and help Crumps buy Oakwood. Moving on to some better news that most of us know about. Over at Alton Towers, we have some positive news. So the Sky Ride should be back open for the 2025 season, which will greatly improve the accessibility of the park. Scarefest is starting earlier than usual, and we have extended opening hours in August. However, this does come with the loss of a couple of events that take place over the year. One of these big events including Oktoberfest. I'm excited to see what investments they can put into their other events this year, and as long as the events that they do have deliver a better and more likeable experience, then I genuinely don't have an issue with there being less events. Blackpool Pleasure Beach had their opening weekend, and it gave us some updates and more details into the park itself. So Ice Blast / Launchpad has had a new paint job, as we know, and it's had the whole cylinder replaced, hopefully making it a more forceful ride. I genuinely cannot wait to get down to Blackpool Pleasure Beach and see that ride on the skylines again, preferably without the scaffolding. But either way, it's going to be exciting to get back on it. River Caves has been confirmed for a revamp, as we've seen signs scattered around the area saying so. Which is nice, but at the same time, I don't want them to do too much to it because the ride that I did get on it, I genuinely really liked it, and it'd be such a shame if they changed anything inside dramatically. There's beliefs that it's down to a leak on the actual trough itself inside of River Caves, but there's no confirmation on that whatsoever. Work has taken place to demolish some of the buildings there. Could this mean giant intermin gyro-swing? Maybe. Some reviews have come out for Epic Universe, and they seem insane. Epic Universe already looks absolutely mental, and as it would. Anything that Universal Studios basically touch or do in the theme park industry is insane. I mean, hurry up and get a great bit of one. Come on, build it, announce it. Either way, Monsters Unchained, their dark ride there, which we had a little bit of a look into in Parkology episode 1. Apparently, it's proper terrifying, and supposedly it's even going to be rated PG-13, which I don't know how they enforce that on a dark ride, but that just goes to show that the level of theming in there, the audio and the lighting could be insane. I mean, we already seen that the animatronics looked really, really good in there, and I think that if that's anything to go off what the rest of the ride looks like, then we're going to be in for a blast with that one. Stardust Racers has been spotted testing even more. Now, Stardust Racers is a Mack multi-launch dueling coaster, which is crazy. I mean, it only has one inversion, but Icon only has one inversion as well, and that ride is absolutely mental. So I think that both of these rides are such a good addition to the park, and I genuinely cannot wait to get over there and ride both of these myself. Obviously, we're going to see a lot more reviews coming out of this park and testing footage coming out, as the park is set to open May the 22nd. And that wraps up another episode of Crump's Rambles About Parks. From coasters being removed to parks shutting down, Thorpe Park finally discovering landscaping, and you know, it's just been a wild week in the theme park industry. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Was Oakwood's closure inevitable? Smash that like button, definitely drop and subscribe as well, and I'll see you in the next episode of Crap. Peace.